Good morning. We will start today, as we often do, singing together. We'll sing hymn number 1008 in the Teal hymnal, When Our Hearts Are in a Holy Place. Please rise in body and spirit. Welcome to the Unitarian Society of Santa Barbara. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to gather here once again in community, whether you're in our sanctuary or online. We are a community of seekers striving to live with integrity, nurture wonder, and inspire the actions that transform ourselves and our world. I am Alex Overby. My pronouns are he, him, and I am delighted to be your lead worship associate today while Reverend Julia is out on a well-deserved break. I'd like to extend a warm welcome to any visitors, friends, and family who are with us today. We are happy you are here, and we'd like to get to know you, so please stop by our welcome booth after service in the courtyard and stick around for coffee hour in Parish Hall. If you feel you've found your spiritual home here at the Unitarian Society, we always love to welcome you into membership, so please speak with Kira at our membership table after service. Now, the title of today's service, A Meditation on Trash, may seem a bit unusual. I'll admit I was trying to be a little bit playful when I came up with the title. I do not intend on leading us in any sort of formal meditation on the topic of trash. Rather, I was drawn to the idea of meditation as a practice to bring attention to something that we often overlook, something that can be easy to ignore once it leaves our hands. I am joined today by my fellow worship associate, Eileen Bunning, our guest speaker, my coworker and friend, Michael Reusner, Matthew in the choir, Heather Levitt on piano, and Brent Wells on the drums. Thank you to our ushers and to everyone else who makes Sunday possible. We have a lot to learn, a full morning scheduled, but before I begin, I invite you to take a deep breath, settle into this space, release whatever worries and tensions we may be carrying with us as I ring this bell and let the sound connect us.
And good morning again. I'm Eileen Bunning, and I am the Associate's Associate today. And I have to say, when Julia asked me if I would work with Alex today, and the theme was trash, I went, it's really not what I had in mind. But it has been such a journey and a learning journey, so I hope you will join us in good faith on our journey. But first, we have to light the chalice. And as we light our chalice, may we light in ourselves the awareness that we are all interconnected, and our interconnectedness calls us to care for others and our earth. Thank you, Alex. I want to take just a quick moment or two and share a good thing with you. And I didn't find this in the newspaper. I found it through an experience just in the last few days. And in these challenging times, it's often challenging to find something good to share. But we've had Mike's daughter, Suzanne, and her husband, Mark, and 2 adult children visiting this week. Both children are girls, and they're young adults. They've graduated college, and they're beginning to join us in our worry about the universe and our country. And our conversations have been very, very lively. On Thursday, when the oldest, Ren, had some questions about the ocean and the seals and oceanography, that morning, we headed over to the Carpinteria Cliffs to view and watch the seals below the cliffs. There were a number of barges coming and going and serving the rigs in the near distance. Walking back to the car, she started asking about our oceans, the ecology, the impact by the rigs and the drilling, and we're not surprised because her aunt, whose home they were staying in, is a marine scientist and a very successful advocate for the ocean sustainability worldwide. On Thursday afternoon, I took Ren and myself over to the Santa Barbara Maritime Museum. And if you've not been there in a while, I want to tell you, I was blown away. Stop in. It has undergone an amazing upgrade. It's really fabulous. With the help of a wonderful docent, we explored the pros and cons of oil rigs, large ships coming through the channel, and so forth. We were walking about, and I sighed several times that there was so much to be concerned about. And here's the good thing. Ren stopped me and said, "Hey, even when it may feel overwhelming or even hopeless, it's not a reason to give up." And this was a good reminder for my heart to hear coming from our next generation. And now, Alex, it's the first, I'm sorry. Now, Alex, it's the 1st of July. Do we have some birthday people out there? Anybody have a July birthday?
Please
come celebrate. I'm sorry, that's, yeah. Hi. Somebody that knows where this goes. It's on, great. Hi, come on, is it your birthday? Come on up, join us. Okay, so Nathan, we're going to start with you. I'm going to give you the microphone. You'll say your name, the date of your birth, and you don't have to tell us, but we're curious how old you are. And then you can pass it down.
Hi, I'm Nathan. My birthday is on the 22nd, and I'll be 48.
All right, welcome.
I'm Nancy. My birthday is July 8, 1953. I'll be 73 years old.
My name is Georgia, and my birthday is July 20th.
How old are you going to be?
5.
I'm Sarah Carr. I'll be 84 on the 28th of this month.
I'm Peter Hale, and on July 10th, I'll be 79.
Well, thank you all. Happy birthday to all of you. May this be, you are a blessing to all of us, and may this year be full of joy and health and happiness. Can we give this group a... It's one of those days.
Join us in song as we sing number 396 in the hymnal, I Know This Rose Will Open.
I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open. I know this I know this rose will open. The way I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open. I know this rose will open. Will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open.
In our service for all ages, where we welcome children of all ages to come up and hear a story, which Eileen will be telling to us today. Hey, we have one. Can I sit next to you?
Oh, come on, there's other young people in here. Younger part? Thank you. Okay. I need help from this little guy. What's your name? Jasper. Jasper. Do you know who this guy is?
I don't remember his name, but I remember the picture.
You remember the picture. Okay. This is.
But he knows someone from the show.
I hear somebody back there knows Oscar. And where does Oscar live? Oh, garbage can. Okay. Do you think he knows about trash? Yeah, okay. So we're going to look at some of his friends who are wanting to be partners on the planet. And Abby I had to go back because when I used to read this to my children, some of these characters weren't invented yet. But, you know, that's the miracle of Sesame Street, right? So, Abacadabby says, "Aren't we lucky to live on Earth together, Oscar?" And Oscar says, "Earth is fine, but my trash can, now that's a great place to call home." And all their friends are saying, wait a minute, we can reduce. We can work together to keep Earth clean and healthy. One way to help is to reduce what we use. What does reduce mean? Do you know?
I'm just guessing. It means like throw stuff in the trash.
It means decrease that pile of trash in the house, huh? Get it smaller, throw it in the trash can?
That's what I mean.
Okay. We got a smart guy up here. And the bird, can't remember his name right now. Big Bird says another way is to turn off the faucet when you're done. Then you will use less water. You'll reduce the amount of water you're using, and that's good. Turn off the lights when you're not using them. Then you will use less electricity. And little Abacadabra says, lights off, twinkle out. There she goes. Trash can pile up fast. It doesn't just disappear. Oh dear, says Ernie. That's a very big pile of trash. The trash is just falling outside of the trash can. Sometimes mine in the kitchen looks like that. When we use less, we make less trash. That helps the earth be clean. Have you ever gone on a beach walk and picked up trash?
I went on a beach walk and I saw trash, but I haven't picked it up.
This little guy said yes, he has literally done that. Okay, what are some of the ways to make less trash? One, you could eat fruits and foods that don't have wrappers, like oranges and bananas and things that grow their own wrappers. Ha ha ha, says Oscar. We can reduce. Reducing keeps Earth healthy too. We reuse when we use things more than once. And Oscar says, I'm going to reuse these flowers that are here in my house. And he's got a very tired-looking bunch of flowers. But Elmo is watching his friend take a drink out of his own water bottle that he brought. And Elmo says, oh, I could use a water bottle many times if I get one that's recyclable, right? Another way is you could donate toys you don't use anymore, then other kids can use them. What do you think about that?
It means like give toys to like kids that like don't have that much toys.
Oh,
I don't know how to explain it.
you explained it perfect, sweetheart. He can give his toys away that he's not using because some kids don't have toys. You're a sweetheart. Want to come home with me? Anyway, he's asking, and do you have toys that you can give away? I think you've already thought about that.
I have a bunch of toys, so yes.
Okay. I think you should tell the rest of the story here. Okay, we can use washable plates instead of paper plates. And this little character is saying, my lunchbox is reusable. I can bring it to school every day. And another friend is saying, we can bring reusable cloth bags to the grocery store instead of using plastic ones. Have any of you started doing that? Yeah. I know, that's for us that have to buy the groceries.
It's mostly because I've never really seen those kinds of bags.
Okay, that's okay. He's doing cool. Oh, and look at this. I don't know what her name is. Is this Abacadabi? Yeah. Okay, so this is what she did. She said, I can use that tin cup if I clean it out, and I can put buttons glued to it and then use it to hold all my pens and crayons. That's pretty cool. She's doing something creative. And then Bert says, I can use an old container that could become a bird feeder. Bernice would like that, to see the birds. So we're getting the idea here. We can recycle. Yeah. Recycling also helps keep the earth clean. When we recycle, we make something from old into something brand new. And what we have are plastic beach chairs. So the plastic that we take to the trash in a plastic container can be reused. When we recycle paper, plastic, cans, and more, we're helping the earth. And Oscar has one last complaint. Hey, they're taking my trash. And Oscar's friend says, Oscar, that trash can be put to good use. Can you all think of other ways that you could be doing to reduce, reuse, and recycle and make our earth better? Maybe, Alex, your friend will help us learn about that today. Thank you. And are we singing our children out? I'm not.
As our immigrant community continues to be targeted by ICE, we add 5 monarch butterflies to our monarch branch as we stand in solidarity with our neighbors and friends. We will not be silent while this violence against our community continues. We ring our bell 5 times to bear witness. We'll now be singing number 1069 in the Teal hymnal, Ancient Mother. Please rise in body and spirit. Thank you.
Our outreach offering recipient for July of this year and next year is La Casa de la Raza's Migrant Rights Project at the Restorative Justice Education Center. It is to be noted that La Casa was selected by the congregation as one of 3 recipients for the next 2 years. The Restorative Justice Education Center at La Casa is rooted in a commitment to walk alongside families in crisis with compassion, dignity, and practical support. La Casa provides essential services through 4 pipelines. 1, basic needs, delivering food, hygiene items, and household essentials. 2, resources, connecting families with legal aid, locating detained loved ones, and creating preparedness plans. 3, media, sharing vital information on rights, policy changes, and resources through weekly radio and print updates. And 4th, Safe Haven, offering trusted spaces for community gatherings, organizing, and mutual aid. Please give as generously as you can. Thank you.
Let us say our affirmation of gratitude and giving. Let us be grateful when we are able to give, for many do not have that privilege.
When Reverend Julia is away, sometimes things don't always go according to plan, and we don't always go in the order of operations of our order of service. So before I invite my friend Michael up, I just want to share a reading with you. Today's reading comes from the poem, The Peace of Wild Things by Wendell Berry. When despair for the world grows in me, and I wake in the night at the least sound, in fear of what my life and my children's lives may be, I go and I lie down where the wood drake rests in the beauty on the water and the great heron feeds. I come into the peace of the wild things, who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. I come into the presence of still water, and I feel above me the day-blind stars waiting for their light. For a time, I rest in the grace of the world and am free. I'd like to invite my friend Michael, who is a county employee for Resource Recovery Waste Management, and he is going to share with us about the landfill and where our trash goes. So come on up, Michael. Thank you.
Cool. Everyone hear me? Sweet. Hi, my name is Michael Reusner. I am a friend of Alex and coworker at the County of Santa Barbara's Public Works Department in the Resource Recovery and Waste Management Division. I want to say thank you for having me today. Thank you to Alex for inviting me today. I love my job. I love talking about anything to do with trash, especially the landfill, the resource center, and all the programs we like to do. So I'm excited today to share with you just a little bit about how it works. So I want to start with giving you a little bit of a background. So this is the Tahigas landfill back when it first opened in the late 60s, early 70s. As you can see here, it's a pretty low valley right along the Santa Barbara coastline on that Gaviota coast. Nowadays, if you drive by it, next slide, please. As you can see, it's located, it says you are here, that's where we're located. It's now a mountain of trash. It has decades upon decades of trends in fashion, toys, reading, magazines. If you cut it open, it's like a big layer cake full of history. You might be asking yourselves, why do we have a landfill on the gorgeous Gaviota coast? Unfortunately, there is no good place for a landfill. There's only the least worst possible spot for it. And fortunate for us, the Gaviota coastline has something known as Gaviota shale. And so this means it's a highly impermeable membrane. So if anything ever leaks out from the bottom of a landfill, it's not going to impact the water quality for that water table. It's not going to leak down into the oceans. So it's actually a pretty good spot for it. And because it was a deep valley, it was a pretty good place where we could load up a lot of trash for a long time. We've recently we're almost about to complete an expansion, so the landfill lasts us till about 2038. So we get almost 70 years out of that. Yes. So yeah, why landfills? Next. So the natural cycle for why we have landfills is partially because the natural cycle for waste has been disrupted over time. As you can see here, the natural cycle is we produce, or animals produce waste, so do plants, all life produce waste. It gets broken down and decays, used by other kinds of microbes, bacteria, into usable materials, and it kind of goes back in, it creates new life in it, right? As we advance through society, we've kind of disrupted that and created a very linear cycle. Materials that do not break down by living organisms are responsible for that natural life cycle for waste, just kind of pile up over time, and they kind of end up in landfills. A major cause of this is because around the 1950s and 60s, plastic was invented, so disposability became a big thing. Plastics is really what has kind of created the need for landfills in our society. So when our waste really started piling up, that's where it went, especially in Santa Barbara. We found that Tahigas would be the greatest spot for that. So since plastics on the advent of World War II have become a thing, Tahigas has been around. So another reason that plastics has kind of caused is, and another reason for why trash is kind of built up so quickly in the last 60 to 70 years as well, is with the advent of plastics became an increase in convenience. Rampant consumerism became a big thing after the World Wars. People just wanted to buy to stimulate that economy. And there was a large push from the powers that be to kind of stimulate a disposable economy. There was a lot of single-use goods. As you can see on this chart here, if you're able to read it, it talks about the plastic production and just how quickly that's risen. And companies have designed products to fail. How many of you have had to replace your phone in the last 5 years? How many of you had to replace a light bulb? When they first invented these things, they were meant to last 100 years. The fire department in Philadelphia still has that first light bulb going, and it's like 110 years later. So companies have created planned obsolescence because they want you to buy more, they want you to throw more things away, and they don't want things to be durable, they don't want things to last. So unfortunately, we at the county cannot control how people consume, what people produce, and what they do with it when they're finished. But we can't control what happens to it when it comes to us. As you can see here, these are some statistics on trends in California. The average, based on the last time a big statewide waste audit was done, was about 6.3 pounds per day. That's for the average California. Unfortunately, in Santa Barbara, it's much worse. At any given point in the year, it's between 12 to 18 pounds per person in Santa Barbara County per day. That's well over double to triple the state average. That's because Santa Barbara, and it's just a beautiful area of the state, is also rather wealthy. So with a lot of wealth becomes a lot more consumerism, there's a lot more disposable income, so things can get thrown away, redone, there's a lot of remodeling that gets done, a lot of construction, a lot of development, and so there's a lot of newer goods that kind of get brought in and then thrown out very quickly. And there's a large tourism industry. As this beautiful community knows, like, it's very popular for people to come see our beautiful coastline, our beautiful city, up and down the Santa Ynez Valley, our wine country. But with all those people, there's a lot of disposable goods. They're kind of just coming in here to enjoy things and toss things out. So they're not really worried about what happens to their waste like someone who lives here might be. So one of the solutions we have is the county's resource center. It helps divert compostable and recyclable materials out of all that trash that gets generated. So even though we generate 12 to 18 pounds of trash per day per person, we can bring that number down a lot lower, closer to that state average with our machines. So the resource center, what happens is all that commingled waste in the South County of Santa Barbara, Tahigas and the resource center only service the Santa Ynez Valley, the South Coast, and the Gaviota Coast. And if you've ever been out towards the El Carrizo Plains or up to 33, the Cuyama Valley and that tiny little community, we take all that trash from there too. We gather all that trash into that central location, and it goes through this really large machine. It's about a football field in size, 3 stories tall, known as the MRF, the Materials Recycling Facility. This place, which I recommend, we give public tours on Wednesdays. I recommend you visit lessismore.org and sign up. The man who leads that tour, Samuel Dickinson, has done it since it's opened in 2021, and he does a phenomenal job. This place is quite intense to see. There's conveyor belts everywhere. There's dryers, there's magnets, there's screens. We have people around the clock working to pull things out that the machines can't do. It's pretty high tech. No AI yet. But we do use lasers, and that's pretty fun. There's a lot of magnets that go around. We pull out in the mornings, and through a good chunk of the early afternoon, we pull out all the general waste. So think of things that go into your gray bin. We try to pull out all our recyclable materials that we can from there, so metals, aluminum cans, but we also pull out a lot of food. And what we do with that food is we take it as they get past through screens, and next slide. It goes to what is known as the ADU, the anaerobic digestion, the ADF, the anaerobic digestion facility. So we take all of that food that comes out of that waste streams, and we break it down into compost, and we distribute that compost all throughout the county. It's pretty good for if you have large-scale operations, and we actually use it on a bunch of county sites. The Resource Recovery and Waste Management Division runs a public preserve known as Barone Ranch. I recommend if you have any time to go visit there too. It's one of the least visited preserves in Santa Barbara County, but it's also one of the most beautiful. It has an avocado orchard, that's where we put our compost. And I recommend you go out there and take it. They're pretty good, and they're all free, and there's a ton of them. Every time I go out there, and every time someone I know has been out there, there's been just a bunch on those trees. So you don't have to pay $5 for 3 when you can get 20 for none. If we go back to that previous slide. Oh. So this kind of shows, we try to take about 30% of what gets taken to the MRF is we can kind of recycle out. From that material, about 40% of it goes to the ADF. 2% of it is recyclable. Recycling in the US, recycling in California is not as big of a market as you would think it is. We really do at the county try to push reduce, reuse before recycling. As you can see, only really 2% of general waste that we can process through the MRF can actually get recycled. Things are changing if you've been keeping up with the news. The state recently enacted SB 54, the plastics recycling law, so they're hoping to develop a lot more markets. We're working really hard at the county to develop new technologies, new ways, new processes, so we can try to hopefully reduce our plastics waste by about 25% by 2028 and hopefully by half by 2032. So stay tuned. If you have ideas as well for innovative ideas in plastics recycling, come my way. My entire graduate school thesis was on innovations in waste diversion, so I'm the person to talk to, and I'll make sure they get done. So please come up to me. I'm always eager to hear. But we really do try our best. And as you can see, 58% of that still goes to the landfill, which might seem like a lot, but because of the Resource Center, we're the golden child for the state. A lot of times CalRecycle, the governing body for a lot of that waste product production in the state, comes down to us and asks us for different ideas. We've been the lab for a lot of novel and new programs throughout the county. If we can go into that next one. So we have a lot of other programs, and we've been kind of that cutting room floor for a lot of these programs. From sharps and medicines, we were one of the first counties to introduce a program for the disposal of them, and that's been replicated statewide. Some of our construction and demolition debris programs are pretty novel in what we do with them. Paint, we were one of the first counties to introduce with our paint care program. That's now statewide, and it's actually countrywide. There's a number of different states across the country that participate in it. So a lot of the paint, if it's latex or water-based or oil-based, we can take it and recycle it into new paint. We're working really hard on trying to get some fun goodies out of that program, so stay tuned. Carpet is something we can recycle. And some of my favorites are actually our e-waste program and edible food recovery. I am the program specialist with the county who's in charge of our edible food recovery program. And I very much cherish that as a program because we take and we ensure that grocery stores, large-scale restaurants, if they have excess food, it goes to those who are hungry or in need. And so I go around the county to check in on these people, making sure that everything's all right with the program, food's going where it needs to go, and connecting people with the resources so that we can make sure that hunger is stamped out in our county. And that's one of the things I'm most proud about. And so I personally find that working for the county has made me have a newfound understanding of what it takes to really build and be a part of a community. Again, I love my job. I love being out there working with people to make sure that they can throw away the things they need to throw away, again, that edible food recovery program. But also, I run a number of single-day events where people who have trouble trying to figure out how to dispose of things, they come up and they're like, how do I do this? How can I throw this away? And I just enjoy being able to see that my work has an impact, even with just one person. I help run the helpline for the county, so if you ever call us and you're trying to figure out what to throw away, you might hear me on the phone and I'll gladly answer your questions. And I really just enjoy it. I've had a number of times where I've had people who've accumulated stuff for decades and they just don't know what to do. And it's sometimes really hard to throw away stuff. Sometimes someone's a painter and they've gotten all this paint and they don't know what to do with. Someone works in construction and they have all this glue and adhesives and they're not sure what to do with it. And if we don't quite have a program ready for it, I'm always ensured that I'm working with someone in my department, in my office, or even just trying to come up with a new solution. I very much enjoy my boss and my team because they let me come up with innovations. So if we find something lacking, we try our best to develop new ways to deal with it and tackle it. And I love being a part of resource recovery and waste management, and I love being a part of the community, and I just love my job. So if you have questions about how anything trash related works, please reach out to me or visit our website at lessismore.org. I also run that website. So it is a one-stop shop for everything and anything trash related in the county. We have about, I just did an audit of the website, 1,200 pages on anything to throw away. So if you're even trying to search, only thing we can't really help you with is radioactive waste. So if any of you got radioactive rocks, try contacting the Natural History Museum. They just had to deal with this. But for anything from VHS to old film plastics to textiles, all the way down to solvents. And I think what's the oddest thing we have on there? I think dental implants we had on there as one of our pages, or like dental materials. Visit that website. If you see something that's missing on there, or you've discovered a brand new service that a nonprofit has started, please reach out to me. We've added a few in the last month from people who are like, I just started this nonprofit and I'm excited, or I just recently learned about this service where I can ship out a material. Please let us know. I'll gladly add it on that website, and I'll maybe even make a little post and a shout out. So thank you for having me today. And here's a handy little guide on how to throw things away in South County, Santa Barbara. If you ever need this to put above your trash can, let me know or let Alex know. I have a bunch of materials that we can give you.
Thank you, Michael. I share Michael's sentiment that I too love my job. We work together in resource recovery waste management for the county, so I did want to share a little bit of reflection myself as well and how that has impacted me this year. $72 million, that's the approximate annual budget for resource recovery waste management division of Public Works. Collecting, hauling, sorting, burying, composting, recycling our waste is an expensive process. In partnership with Marburg and our community, that budget helps support the proper disposal of our waste, the management of our closed landfills, treatment of our water that comes into contact with the landfill, maintenance of our heavy equipment fleet, expansion of our landfill capacity that Michael talked about, and the upkeep of our resource facilities that continue so that they can continue to operate safely and efficiently for generations to come. I've had the unique privilege of immersing myself in the world of waste after recently accepting a position as a fiscal manager for resource recovery and waste management in November 2025. Before joining Public Works, my career started in the county as an accountant auditor in the auditor controller's office, and I later transitioned into a change management role and training role in IT department. When I first started with the county, I never imagined moving between departments, but I soon realized that each opportunity offered a chance to learn, to grow, and to see our community from different perspectives. Looking back, I am incredibly grateful that my career has led me here. I certainly never imagined that my background in finance would bring me to a place where I would say the word tonnages multiple times every day, but we do track our materials down to each pound, and I help support the talented engineers, the program specialists like Michael, technicians, operation managers, and the leaders who keep our waste management system running. Every day I'm learning something new, and even after touring the Resource Center twice, I continue to discover new things and ask questions every day. Curiosity has become one of the favorite parts of my job. One unexpected joy has been telling people that I work in waste management. Surprisingly, talking about trash and recycling makes for excellent dinner conversations. I'm especially grateful for Michael, who generously gave up part of his holiday weekend to participate and prepare for today's service and share his knowledge about our community's landfill and the resource recovery facility. I hope everyone learned something new today, and if not, we will stick around after service, so please come up with your toughest questions and we'll try to answer those for you. Working in waste management has changed the way that I see our interconnectedness. Every day I see the enormous amount of materials that moves through our facilities and the tremendous effort and the expense required to manage it responsibly. It has reminded me that some of the ways that we are connected to one another are easier to overlook than others. As Unitarians, we affirm the value of interdependence. We often recognize it in our relationships we have with one another, and we see it in the ways we offer kindness instead of judgment, compassion instead of anger, or generosity instead of indifference. Those connections are visible. Our relationship with the environment can be different. It is just as important, but much easier to ignore because its consequences often happen far from where we live our daily lives. In today's world of convenience and consumerism, it can be difficult to slow down and consider the impact of our choices. Every purchase we make, every package we receive, every disposable item we use, every brand that we support, and every object we throw away becomes part of a much larger story. Like Michael said, the average person generates around 6.3 pounds of trash every day. And once something goes into the trash, it doesn't simply disappear. It must be collected, transported, sorted, recycled, composted, or buried. Those choices affect our neighbors, our community, our environment, and future generations. My hope is that today's service inspires us to reflect on our shared responsibility and our love for Santa Barbara community. May that reflection encourage us to reduce what we consume, reuse what we can, and recycle thoughtfully, and care more deeply for the systems and for one another that sustain us. So let us rise once again in body and spirit as we sing our last song, number 1052 in the Teal Hymnal, The Openness of Everything.
Express
remain standing as we join hands. As we extinguish this chalice and go out into this beautiful and heartbreaking world, may the light of love shine upon you, out from within you, be gracious unto you, and bring you peace. For this is the day we are given. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. And let us call out a blessing.